Well, meantime, the Fox News Tonight Common Sense Department is not an authority on hip-hop music, but is still a bit concerned about Democrats unveiling a hip-hop task force to tackle racial inequity. The biggest advocate of the task force is far-left Congressman and squad member Jamal Bowman, who has come under fire for promoting 9/11 conspiracy theories and for his extreme anti-Israel stance. Bowman also believes that Black Lives Matter and the ceasefire movement are shining examples of success. So when he pushes hip-hop messaging to address things like ending poverty and justice reform, common sense is skeptical. The line, quote, "I'd rob ODB, but that'd be a waste of time, probably have to clap him, run, and toss the 9, doesn't exactly scream economic equality. And, quote, "My little sister's birthday, she'll remember me for a gift I had 10 of my boys take her virginity," not really a huge endorsement of women. The task force is also hoping to push things like affordable housing and public school funding. Maybe the school funding theme song could be, quote, "I smacked him in the face with an eraser, chased him with a stapler, stapled his blanks to a stack of papers." At least it sounds educational. Common sense doesn't quite understand this push for hip hop on the Hill because it doesn't feel like they've quite got the beat. Let's bring in the board president of Chino Valley Unified School District here in California, Sonia Shaw, along with Parents Defending Education Senior Advisor Michele Exner. Thank you both for coming on. It's kind of interesting, Sonia, because there's no better way to boost education and public school funding than with hip-hop music and a hip-hop task force. If they came to your school district and said that, you'd think, what? What are we doing?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not shocked and I'm not surprised. They have no limits, and obviously they're trying to push the rhetoric anyway. And, you know, with young artists around, that's not a good example. And I just say let artists be artists and let education be a separate issue.
Yeah. Let's teach them to read and write. Maybe we let the lyric writing go a little later. Here is the Rep. Jamal Bowman on what this is supposed to be. Watch, Michele.
All I'm doing is continuing the legacy of fighting for peace, justice, and equality and human rights for all people, not just here in our country, but all over the world. That's the legacy of hip-hop. That's what hip-hop was built upon.
But Michele, as many would say, that's not really the legacy of hip-hop. People see it differently, and there's been a negative influence on a lot of things, sometimes positive, sometimes negative on a lot of things with hip-hop.
Trace, this is an absolute joke, right? It actually read like a Babylon Bee article, but no, the former school principal, now member of Congress, who couldn't figure out fire alarms, is now wasting more of Congress's time with this unserious initiative. This is appalling. This is embarrassing. And think about this, right? Students are performing the worst they have in decades. Mm-hmm. And I got a question. Where is the Education Loss Task Force? Where's that?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Now, speaking of good questions, Chino Valley schools want parents to be notified if their child is changing genders, right? Here is California Attorney General back in September, Rob Bonta, going back at you for that. Watch.
They're violating multiple sections of the Constitution and state law, and they're doing it very defiantly. And, you know, keeping our eye on the ball here, it is children who would be the losers from this policy. And that is why I'm moving in, to protect children from being hurt, from being harmed.
What he's saying, Sonia, is if you do not keep secrets from parents about their kids, you are violating their kids' rights. Now you're suing them.
Absolutely. The political cartel is a joke, and they continue to try to push this stuff. But thank God we have Liberty Justice helping us with a couple of the cases in regards to our case of keeping parents informed. We had a great win, what I think is a win this morning, and we're going to keep fighting relentlessly because our kids need their parents.
How long will this go on, you think? How long? When will we find out some clarity on this whole thing?
Well, in regards to our case in particular, I think in the beginning of March, you're going to see some big developments come out. So I have, you know, some things planned, and our attorney's working directly with us. But I just want to give people, you know, some hope. Do not give up. They want to tire us out. They want to take resources away. They want parents out of the picture because they want to push an agenda. Right. But we're not giving up.
Yeah,
we've just started.
Yeah, you shouldn't give up. Here's President Biden's Assistant Secretary for Health on the whole climate change thing and how it affects certain people. Watch.
Climate change is having a disproportionate effect on the physical and mental health of Black communities. Black Americans are more likely than white Americans to live in areas and housing that increase their susceptibility to climate-related health issues. And 65% of Black Americans report feeling anxious about climate change's impact.
The problem here, Michele, is they don't cite any evidence. There's no backup data. There's nothing to really support this. It just sounds good. It sounds like they're trying to help the underserved, but the truth is there's nothing really to support this.
Of course I don't, because no evidence exists. And I also think at this point, the Biden administration and the left are just simply running out of things to call racist. We have highways are racist, math is racist, exercise is racist, and now apparently the weather is also racist. And I think what's really sad here is that there's real issues affecting both our country and American families. You have an out-of-control border, you have the chronic education loss, and you have 2 wars going on. But what's the Biden admin doing? They're just simply intent on manufacturing fake crises. And it's simply abandoning the American families.
Yeah, and people keep saying again and again, can we not focus on some of the things that we desperately need, like getting Oakland, California back on the map and getting people, you know, to be comfortable walking the streets there again. Sonia Shah, Michele Exner, thank you both.